going on here? What have you done to our circus?
Dad!
Polluted. Perverted. This looks like the work of mentalists.
I can explain!
Have you been associating with psychics?
Dad,
Psychics. Fortune tellers. They killed your grandfather. They cursed our entire family to die in water.
Yes, but...
Including you, Rasputin. And me. But I'm going to live. You know why? Because I'm still an acrobat. Let's see if you are. What's it going to be, son? Die in the water? Or show me what you got?
What's up, Frost Bros? Welcome back to yet another how-to Elder Scrolls. And in today's episode, we're going to see how to play as an acrobat in the Elder Scrolls 1 arena. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a coffee, and let's get into it. Alright, so the Acrobat here is the first name you would see on the first... Okay, you know what, screw it. Future me, let's start here in 3, 2, 1... Alright, so the Acrobat here, as you can see in the UESP, is the first class in alphabetical order, and as you can see by the just main list of what all the classes get, they have C scaling and experience, meaning they get a pretty middle-of-the-road experience gain. They get a D12 hit die, which means they get a pretty decent amount of health. The weapons they get is the dagger, tono, short sword, broadsword, and short bow. They can wear up to leather armor. They can't use shields. They have a thievery efficiency of 50%. They can't use spells at all. And they have a crit chance of 1% per level, and their starting weapon is a short sword. Now, if I scroll down here, we'll eventually find our way into the thief classes. Acrobats are a part of the thief classes. They're acrobats are thieves who have honed their physical skills and agility and balance to a degree that they're almost supernaturally adept at scaling walls, running, jumping, and tumbling. They retain the ability to score a critical hit. They also have the ability to leap great distances and climb walls more securely and faster than the average thief. They are, in general, the fastest characters on foot. Furthermore, because of their nimbleness, acrobats deduct a certain percentage of their opponent's base damage, chance to hit when engaged in combat with them. This makes them difficult foes to hit and dangerous adversaries. Because of their need for agility and speed, acrobats only use leather armor, but never use shields, and have a reasonable selection of weapons. So the advantages acrobats get is bonus to jump distance and climbing speed. They also have a higher invasion chance per level, and they have the second highest potential health point gain out of any of the thief classes, which is a D12. Like, that's pretty high up there. And of course, average chance for pickpocket and lockpicking success is, well, 50%, so it's a 50-50 chance, and possesses a plus 1% critical strike chance per level. So at level 1, it's 1% chance to critically strike your opponent, so 1% chance of double damage. At level 20, it's 20% chance. Disadvantages: relatively limited weapon selection, you can't really use that many weapons as an acrobat, and lower critical strike chance compared to other thief classes. You can only use leather armor and you cannot use shields, so defense-wise, you don't really absorb that much damage, but you're pretty nimble, so you just dodge. You know, it's don't plan on getting hit, so why wear armor? Notes in the UASP, is that though acrobats share the same thievery rating with bards, nightblades, and rogues, their real strength is in their traversal skills. Acrobats are more efficient class in exploring dungeons, easily able to situate themselves to allow for ideal combat positions, escape enemies, or simply more easily traverse the game's labyrinthian dungeon layouts. Strength and speed are valuable attributes to increase for acrobats, enhancing their innate abilities even further. Agility is also highly useful. Though they have a decent health point hit dice, like other thieves classes, acrobats are relatively weak defensively. Finding useful enchanted items and potions combined with effective use of acrobats' movement bonuses will help their defenses. The manual incorrectly states that they possess a plus D8 health points dice. Okay, so, hang on. So I guess the actual manual itself has the wrong hit die. So yeah, acrobats get a D12. I guess they were originally supposed to get a D8, similar to assassins. So yeah, no, acrobats are definitely pretty healthy. However, all this here really shows is just in theory how acrobats work, and we don't really know how to quite yet how acrobats actually play in a game of Arena. So, without further ado, I think it's about time that we hop into Arena and make ourselves an acrobat to playtest a little and see how acrobats work in practice. Alright, and here we are in character creation, so of course we're going to select a class, and as you can see, acrobats are in fact the first alphabetically, or the first in alphabetical order, and are the first class on the list. And now to give our acrobats a, I guess a fitting name, and then we're just going to go right into it. Gender and race barely matters. However, for acrobats, of course, I looked through the races a bit more just to get a better understanding on how all the races function. And honestly, I think Khajiit are probably the best acrobat race you can pick because I want to see if maybe the I guess we can playtest in multiple ways with multiple races. But I think that playing as a Khajiit acrobat might actually give us a slightly faster climbing speed because Khajiit get a faster climbing speed as one of their bonuses, and I don't know if it stacks or not. But oh, but we're going to pick a Khajiit since they get a higher climbing speed. They're faster. They're a fast, intelligent race. And yeah. So, good stats you want to have for an acrobat, just from the looks of it, is most certainly agility and speed. Speed so you can run really fast, and agility so you don't really get hit as often. I guess endurance could also be good, but honestly, you want to not get hit as often, so I feel like, you know, it's one of those things where you just want to make sure you don't get hit as often. So yeah, we're going to start with a 65 agility and a 63 speed. This should be more than enough. Oh, and of course, acrobats do start with the ability to utilize broadswords, so we might actually use a broadsword this go around, simply because broadswords deal some pretty decent damage for a weapon, you know. So we're going to, of course, pick a pretty good acrobat face for our Khajiit here, Jumpy Joe, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. And anyways, so of course the J key allows you to jump, and I can already see that jumping is definitely going to be crazy, because look at this, I can see right above all the walls. Like, not by much, but by enough that it's definitely notable. And let's see how fast I run across this cell. Not quite that quickly, though honestly I feel like that is a bit faster than most classes. I feel like there are other classes that don't jump quite as fast. Now, we're of course going to save scum a pretty good weapon here, so here I'm going to, yeah, we start with the short sword. and 700 XP. Alright, we're going to use the ruby key to get out of here. And then I'm going to go to this loot pile. And now that we're here, I'm just going to, of course, drop a save here. And you know what? I'm not going to really use this save for much else, so I guess I'm just going to call this save, I don't know, class reviews. Since that's basically what I'm going to be doing here, while also showing off how these classes function. So we're just going to we're going to reload until we, I want to give it at least 3 tries. You know, just to see what good gear we get. So, you know, you want to get a broadsword or at least some good equipment from here. A bracelet, I can't use a katana. However, the bracelet is definitely better because that means we get at least some defense. You can right click. That's a good bracelet. -3 armor rating. So yeah, and I mean agility also affects armor rating. So on top of higher defense, we have well, on top of higher dodge chance, we'll also get higher defense. And now I do believe we can just yeah, this should be fine. We can just run along here and just kill ourselves from rats and basically get out of this place as soon as possible. Honestly, I feel like that's just the benefit of being an acrobat. Like, as you can see, we can just rush through just about everything here. And I guess, we don't really need to kill things, but killing rats does give you XP, so, you know, just, you want to get yourself some good XP here. Acrobats do seem to jump pretty good. Does seem like, our health problems are already starting to show up. So it is possible that we want to get potions of invisibility soon, at some point, or at the very least just some good equipment. We already gained a level just by getting here, and look at that, 3 points in a level. That's not really good, but screw it. We're just going to get yeah, I guess just a little bit of extra agility there. Alright. You know, not very good, not very bad, and I guess, yeah, leveling up is definitely going to be a bit faster than I'm used to. Oh wow, 19 out of 32 health. That is terrible. Okay, I mean, it's currently 12:31 in the afternoon. So tell you what, we're going to, of course, do a usual resting thing to try and get some health back without having enemies popping in to kill us. If we can land more hits than... Okay, we're dead. Well, this is why... Oh, yeah, it's going to... This is why you often save in Arena. So yeah, we're going to get back into it. I'm just going to try and get a little bit more health, maybe some XP. Look at that, goblins. In fact, killing goblins does give us a little extra XP, so usually want to save afterwards. I've spoke about this before, but you know, rats, you know, that's going to give us a little extra XP. It's actually doing better than when I just was showing off Arena, just to show off Arena. But anywho, now that we're nice and fully healed here,
strengthen your arm and your mind.
Yep. So Ria's going to tell us to
It is said that
yep,
Fang Lair was originally built.
go to Fang Lair. So yeah, oh god, and there's a lizard man. How much XP do we have currently? Not bad. And we're definitely getting close to the next level. It's currently 2 at night, so do want to rest a little longer. grab a little extra gold. We're healthy. Just drop another save. And then I guess I'll show off a bit of stuff once we... Oh, fully healed. Good. Uh-oh. Yeah, bandits are possibly one of the bandits are possibly one of the deadliest enemy types you can ever get on a rest. You know, like... At least in the early levels. And later levels, not too bad. Early levels, they definitely kick your ass. Alright, well anyways, we're of course going to leave out into elsewhere now that it's morning and we're fully healed. And now, I guess since this is in fact a thief class, would you look at that? We already have a place where we can utilize some of our stuff. So of course, one really good thing about thief classes, such as acrobats, even though acrobats don't really have the highest stealing capabilities out of any class, they still have some decent stealing capabilities. So, you know, we're going to go up to this blacksmith, we're going to sell our katana for an astonishing 18 gold. Doesn't really matter, because we're about to steal this guy from this guy right under his nose. And then get attacked by the guards. So of course this is the reason. Okay. And if you escape, the guards can't attack you. So yeah, guards in Arena are definitely very unforgiving. They are all night classes, which are one of the toughest classes to encounter in the entire game. And of course, you may notice this guy's back. We can try to steal again. Even though we're unsuccessful, we can just run before the guards can attack us because we're an acrobat. And we can escape. And, well, you may notice that even though I just committed 2 crimes, the guards aren't chasing after us. That's because in Arena, the guards are replaced by Jaggerthorn's minions. So, there is no real law in this game. So you can continuously try to steal and continuously get just attacked by guards. I'm not sure if we're ever going to be successful here, because it did say 50-50, but like, you do get better stealing chances as you level up more, so shoot, I should actually be... Yeah, well, anyways, this is one of the reasons I didn't want to steal, and of course...
With you.
Yep, I know, Rhea. This is one of the reasons I didn't try to steal in the video when I was showing off. Oh, cool. We just pop in here. Yeah, we can sell this katana once again. And I guess we can look and see what kind of equipment this guy has. So I guess we could probably just buy a broadsword if we really wanted to. I mean, look at that. There's a steel broadsword and a basic broadsword. He also has a few enchanted items, though I'm probably not going to be able to afford any of them. I'll just take a steel broadsword for 10 gold. That sounds like a steal. And then I guess I can sell the short sword I have, even though it's equipped, for 2 gold. And now we have a much better weapon because broadswords deal the most damage out of anything that acrobats can actually wield. And I mean, look at how massive that weapon is. However, it still swings fast and still pretty good. Now, what's actually more worth it than trying to rob the equipment store? Because we didn't really get anything, but usually all you would get is maybe armor or a weapon at best. Sometimes you can get an enchanted item. I mean, there's more equipment stores around here. I guess I could try to rob another place. Maybe the security is different in each place. But anyways, and yes, you can only rob stores in broad daylight, sadly, because you actually have to be able to enter the store. You can't enter the store after hours. No matter how much you try to break in, and of course I'm unsuccessful. Wait, was I successful in that? Wait, I think we got a successful stealing attempt. No? Wait, what? So I was unsuccessful, but I was still able to... Weird. Okay. Yep, stop thief, but I can of course just run out before we get caught. And that's really just the gameplay loop. If you're trying to steal, I guess it could also tie into my luck, which I guess luck is a 63. Well, yeah. Well, anyways, I guess we'll look around. Maybe we can find a Mage's Guild, so I can show off a bit of a better equipment that you can steal anyway, take anyway. So, no, I don't want rumors. I want directions to where the Mage's Guild is. Yeah, because if you rob a equipment store, it's only like a weapon east. It's only a weapon or some armor, and honestly, they don't really weapons and armor don't really sell for as well as enchanted items and potions. And of course, the only things you can possibly steal from the Mage's Guilds are enchanted items and weapons. So honestly, Mage's Guilds are, the Mage's Stoicus Guild, as I call them, are honestly, arguably, the best place to rob. Because they have, well, the best loot to get, and here it is. Yeah. I guess I could technically jump, and I can't really jump as high, but, you know, maybe we'll get higher jump chances as we level up. Anyways, we're going to break into the Mage's Guild, even though, actually, you're not allowed to save inside of buildings. You will see here. Oh! You can save inside of buildings. I don't remember being able to save inside of buildings. Aha! And you see you can rob either a magic item or a potion. And be unsuccessful. And crash your game. Huh. Alright, well, our game crashed. Yeah, I guess the guards did a bit more than just try to stop me. We can at least attempt again. Of course, yeah. So acrobats are probably not... Oh god. That guy looks terrifying. Acrobats aren't exactly the best at robbing places, it would seem. However, that is perfectly fine. I guess what we could do is do a bit of questing. Because, of course, we can at least get a bit of gold. Maybe we can get some better equipment on us. We do have 262 gold, so, you know, there is an equipment store here. I think all equipment stores do sell entire full sets of leather, regardless of the place, so, hey, maybe we can buy us a full set of leather. And then we can just, you know, have leather armor, which is the best an acrobat can use. And I mean, yeah, leather armor is it's cheap to get leather armor. So yeah, we can buy gauntlets. I don't really care about the pricing when it comes to some of this stuff, because like, you know, when it's like leather or just cheaper stuff like this, then it's just like you can't really bargain down that much the price. So yeah, it's better to just go through buying it, because, you know, like, I think the best you can bargain is like maybe the Chorus, and bargain it down to 3 gold as like a small chance with a high personality. So not really like you have the best choice in the matter. Or wait, you can, okay, I'm seeing the gold prices now. Still not that much gold, honestly. So yeah, we just bought the boots, now we get the helmet. And then we can get the rest of the stuff, the greaves, and the cuirass. Then we'll have ourselves a full suit of leather armor, as you can see right here. And now we'll have at least a bit of extra protection on us. not the best, but honestly, +1 across the board is significantly better than +4. I mean, leather armor, yes, -3 AR, so not the best, but honestly not the worst. And honestly, we were lucky to get the -3 AR bracelet. And yeah, you can definitely have a pretty good armor rating despite being an acrobat. You know what? Here, we can drop a save here. I just learned that you can save... Oh. Okay, so it's only in mages guilds that you can save, but you can't save in taverns, stores, or temples. So I guess I was remembering it slightly wrong, but I do remember that feature being a thing. So anyways, with us now saving here, let's try to rob this place that we just bought a full suit of leather armor from, and see if maybe we can be successful once. The answer is no. Oh god. Wait, is that I saw a goblin attacking, and you know what? We're about to die. You know what? We can probably just reload so we don't have that low of a health pool. Anywho, I guess there isn't really much else to do in the town then, so we can press M to look at our map here. And it looks like this is either the gates, the city gates, or the palace. Actually, that is the city gate. So let's go ahead and, I guess, go find a dungeon to raid. And then we can at least get a bit more equipment, maybe get a bit more XP, you know, because killing goblins and rats will get us enough XP to at least level up a bit more so we can have a bit more health and stuff and gold. And really it's just getting gold that I want. And then maybe we can ask for some rumors and directions, or actually we'll have to go to Hammerfell to locate Fang Lair for directions stuff, but yeah, I guess acrobats don't really have it the best. However, they are definitely pretty quick on their feet. I mean, look at how far we jump. Like, look at how fast we run. Like, yeah, we could definitely use some extra speed, or I guess we can't go in there. Oh, Locke has nothing to fear from us. Let's break inside a building. Oh yeah. When you're broken into a building, it does have creepy music, but you don't get caught by guards in buildings. They're kind of just owned by monsters, and I guess spell swords. And I guess this here's a place where we can show off a bit of the jumping skills, because these higher ledges that you can't normally get over, okay, well, they have more ledges like this in other dungeons later on that you can actually jump into. I'm not sure if we can actually get into this ledge, but yeah, there are ledges that are like this that you can actually get into. And yeah, that spell sword is going to mess with us, isn't he? Hey, let's see if we can maybe kill this spell sword. Okay, it looks like this spell sword might actually kill us. Oh, never mind. We actually got very lucky killing that spell sword. And yeah, you can see that I don't think any of this equipment is going... Okay, we got a level of experience at least. Man, we're getting terrible luck on these levels, huh? You know what? Just for the nice points, we're gonna have 69 agility. Anyways, we're gonna want to rest on this bed, I guess, that we just broke into, soliciting in. You know, get a little extra, you know, just get some rest into us. 23 hours of resting is definitely something. We don't really have a good healing rate. But we do have 33 health now, which is not the best, actually. Actually, I guess I can see if maybe we can jump into this pit now. Just to show up. Yeah. Okay, so that's an inaccessible ledge there. It's just a little window. Huh. Well, this was a cool little building to rob into. Yeah, so I guess the better stealing chances are from when you're higher level, and good lord, so much of the space of this dungeon is literally just walls. Anywho, I guess we can search around the place a little better. Maybe we can try breaking into here. No, not a place we can break into. I guess we can, while we have our pilfering up, I guess we can go look for someone to rob. See about just pickpocketing, you know? But of course it seems like citizens aren't aplenty. Let me put my weapon away so these citizens will stop to talk. Hey, hello, how are you doing? Grab for the gold piece. You pilfer a few admirably drawn charcoal sketches from your victim. Stolen a single gold piece. See, you can just steal from people. Successfully search the nothing of value. Yeah, look at that. You can at least take a single gold piece every time you pickpocket someone, so you can get some gold. Am I actually getting anything else other than just gold pieces? No. A lot of that is literally just flavored text, which is nice, you know? It's nice to see that Arena has flavored text. However, it does seem like the roads here just lead on forever in every direction, and we don't really have much else out here to really do as an acrobat. So, you know, the early game for the acrobat is not exactly the best. So what we can do is, I guess, head to Hammerfell. And I do believe it is... I do believe it is actually Rahad where the first quest starts. So, we're going to go to Rahad. And I guess we can at least see how well the acrobat performs in the very first dungeon. Because, of course, we could do such a thing. I wonder if, without even grabbing any of the rumors about where Fanglair is, if we could just go straight to the quest giver and get the quest. I mean, we probably want to have more equipment and magic items, but honestly, we can probably get all the magic items we need from the very first dungeon. And honestly, I do know that there's a few segments, I think, in the very first dungeon as well that can actually utilize the acrobat's potential. A lot of the acrobat's potential, though, is really running past enemies. Though there are, like, maybe 1 or 2 sections in the entire game where you actually need to, oh, Riha, Jumpy Joe, I'm Queen Blubomka. Yes, there we go. So yes, we're going to take the first quest here from Blubomka, Queen Blubomka, and we're going to go to the very first dungeon to, of course, playtest the acrobats and dungeon crawling. I mean, we have some basic equipment, a broadsword, which is one of the best, a steel broadsword, which is one of the best basic weapons we can get at the moment, a full suit of leather armor, and a -3 amulet, or was it an amulet or torque? It was, in fact, a bracelet. Okay. Yes, and now, as you can see, this dungeon is quite dark. However, it'll offer at least a few enemies we can kill. And a few... yeah. As you can see, acrobats don't exactly have the best defensive capability, so you do want to get some good magic items and loot piles like these very often. Oh, look, another bracelet. Is that actually any good, or... like, is it a better bracelet than what I got? Oh, it is. Cool. There we go. +0s across the board. Alright. Now we take default damage. The bare minimum. Now I do know there is a bedroom over here that we can rest in, though it is in fact Inhabited by wolves. Deadly wolves.
With you,
And we have to reload our last save. Where did... Okay. You know what? Joke's on me. I forgot to drop a save. Anywho. Yeah, so... we just went to the first dungeon and got our butts absolutely handed to us on a silver platter, so... Acrobats are definitely not for the faint of heart, at least at first. You know, maybe if we go back to the Mages Guild, we can at the very least see how much certain magic items we might need would cost, because it is very obvious that we are going to need some magic items before we can actually properly explore places. And I do know that, in fact, I do know that we just left the Mages Guild not too long ago in this place. Yeah, here it is. So now we can at least head back, discover it, and at least see how much certain magic items are. I know that if you can manage to steal some magic items, you can actually sell them for quite some good gold. However, it does seem like we're just going to have to... You see, we don't have that much. We can buy an elven amulet, which would give us a little extra. Mark of Sanctuary, you see, you have to look up what spells do to actually know what all these do. So I'm not sure what Sanctuary does. I think Sanctuary gives you extra agility, so that could be good. I know that Wizard Lock is just a lock spell. It's not very useful. 500 gold points, gold pieces for the elven amulet, though. And of course, we can look at potions. So as you can see, we have Potion of Stamina, Potion of Strength. You know, some good potions we could get. Potion of Invisibility is definitely something you want to have a lot of as an acrobat in the early levels, though it seems like we're not going to have very many chances to get that. So yeah. We're going to, of course, need to try and save scum steal magic items, so we can try and get some good stuff. So tell you what, I'll, in fact, this here might actually be one of the fastest ways you can actually, get some gold is by save scum stealing, from a mage, until you eventually, oh, I just went back to flesh disease, I did not mean to do that. And of course, Jumpy Joe is actually, level 2 again. That's fine, we can just continue trying to steal. And eventually... Oh, I was unsuccessful, but I didn't really get anything.
No, thief.
You know what, I can just kill some of these bandits here for XP. So even though we fail, we can at least see about getting some good loot here. Yikes. I said bandit, but you know, it's kind of the guards. And yeah, the guards definitely kick your butt in the early level, in the early game. So yeah. You know what? I think this could be actually a good review for acrobats. I mean, I'm showing off how acrobats function in game. I don't really have to be truly successful as an acrobat. I just had to show off what it's like in theory, and of course you do see that it is quite difficult to learn the acrobat, because of course acrobats don't exactly have the highest stealing chance. They do run and jump pretty nice, however you've seen that in practice they are quite weak in combat and they can get caught on enemies quite easily. So honestly, being an acrobat might not be the most worth it option, simply because you can just die to rats, or wolves, or guards, or bandits. And, you know, stealing isn't really the best. I mean, the best stealing you can really do in the early level is just grabbing 3 gold pieces from someone, or, accept some, you know, grab some string and some paper from someone. But apparently, apparently, pickpocketing can lead to guards trying to arrest you. Unless you're out in the wilds, it does seem like, victims of the wilds, okay, we're actually being, like, chased, and we're dead.
With you, guide.
So yeah, as you can see, acrobats are pretty difficult to run. Not because their class is particularly the worst, because you can still play as them. The fact that acrobats are allowed to use broadswords is pretty nice because broadswords are a pretty decent weapon overall. And I'd suggest you would get better broadswords over time because, like, you can get up to an ebony broadsword, which can deal some serious damage. And I mean, broadsword, just the steel broadsword by itself does like 1 to 12, which is not the worst damage in the game. And even with like a full suit of leather armor and getting some good enchanted items, you can definitely increase your defensive capabilities, and you have higher agility and a higher evasion chance. It's obviously not the best evasion chance. We die way too quickly. So yeah, that low health is definitely an issue. You desperately need to grind a lot more as an acrobat, and acrobats overall, they're not the best class to play as. In fact, if I were to rank acrobats, in fact, here, I'm going to do a ranking of acrobats based off of skill ceilings and skill floors. So it's obvious that acrobats definitely have a pretty high up their skill floor, and I'm not sure how their skill ceiling would really go. So, in theory, and just from my own game knowledge, acrobats would have a pretty decent skill ceiling simply because you can get some good enchanted items later on, and really every class can equip certain enchanted items. I would say that acrobats as a class in Arena are about 6 out of 10. Like, they're definitely fun, they're definitely better than the worst class in the game, but they aren't exactly the best class overall. So would I suggest playing as an acrobat? Maybe as a bit of a challenge run. Definitely wouldn't be my first pick. But anywho, I do believe, I do believe that's going to be a good place to wrap things up. We've seen that acrobats are, in practice, not really one of the best classes, but are, in fact, not really a good class, honestly. You definitely need a lot of prep time and grinding for acrobats to be good. But I do believe that's going to be a good place to wrap this up. I do hope that you found this video helpful. This is going to be Bro Frostbrew, and I think I'm going to have to catch you on the next one. Later!